How many times have you pondered over how some people remain calm and centered even when life throws its biggest challenges at them? While a few can barely hold up to the gentlest of gales, others appear to surf chaos with grace. Today we delve into the deeper realm of Stoic women, our silent warriors of serenity, who can transmute the storms of life into a flickering breeze. This is not just another advice. It is an access point to an uncharted treasure trove of power that lies inside you. Strength that you might not have known you already had. But I offer you a challenge. See us through to the closing minutes. So listen closely, contemplate every thought, and see if by the end of this journey you don't leave feeling a little more calm, a little more resolute, and a little more unshakable. And if you sense we have discovered something of real value together, something that can help change your mind, subscribe and help us with this journey of transformation. Are you up for the challenge? Let's find out. While each person holds a universe inside their own life, people are many books. Those one particular category cannot be ignored. They exude wisdom, experience, and a quiet strength that draws others to them. I'm talking about Stoic women, figures who go against the grain of societal mores and tempt us to plumb the depths of ancient philosophy. They are a lighthouse in the storm, a grounded light in the swirling winds of fate. It is not the loud, chest-beating proclamations and jubilant gestures that carry their power. It is the quieter tone, the presence of agency, equilibrium, control, and presence, which is ultimately illustrative of certain tenets of Stoicism. Imagine now if you meet such a woman. She has an undeniable presence, one that can be felt without words. There is something unconventional about her, an independence not born of solitude, but of a near intimacy with the fibers of the universe and the knowledge that has spurred Stoic philosophers for millennia, harnessing the power of Stoicism in daily life. Stoicism as philosophic worldview is as old as it is now relevant. It instructs us of the need for emotional mastery, rationalistic dispositioning, and self-reliance. Yet what is it that distinguishes these women, that makes them so heroic and captivating? Make no mistake, it is both incredibly simple and profoundly deep. They have learned an essential lesson that too many have yet to grasp: the art of living well. This art is not about fleeing discomfort or pursuing transitory joy. No, it's about living life fully, enduring trials with an inner bearing aligned to not folly and superstition, but wisdom and reason. In a culture that all too frequently promotes impulsivity, emotional excess, and external validation, Stoic women offer an alternate roadmap, one that demands we turn our eyes inward, which interrogate our own beliefs and create a temple to resilience from within. They pursue the things that matter with laser-like focus, enabling them to approach even the hardest obstacles with a level of equilibrio that defies earthly expectations. This is an open invitation to explore this fascinating world and discover what it means to be a Stoic woman today. The history of these women, their philosophies of life, their struggles and victories will be explored together. Every story, every tenet we discover, you will see how the quiet power in their heart is a force that can pivot mountains. A heart that does not just survive, but thrives despite adversity. Characteristics of women who are Stoic. Though they might seem sculpted from the stubborn metal of will to power, at the heart of Stoic philosophy are certain cardinal virtues, characteristics that comprise the makeup of a Stoic woman's daily life. These characteristics are far more than admirable. They're vital skills for navigating the sometimes treacherous terrain of everyday life. Self-esteem is the know-how of a Stoic woman. Her swagger does not rely on the clamor of the outside world, and it certainly doesn't come from the praise of other people. It is instead born through deep self-awareness and an unwavering belief in her worth. This self-assurance is not so much a boastful swagger, but an unshakable calm, a sense of certainty within that does not waver based on the views of others. One of the hallmarks of her strength is clear and purposeful communication. She uses words selectively, always being direct, authentic, and clear. There are no embellishments, no real manipulation, just honesty that creates real and effective dialogue, not to mention conversations. And then there is adaptability, a quality that enables her to glide through the shifts of life with almost magical ease. Just as water fills the shape of any vessel, she accommodates for her surroundings while defining and never losing her essence. It is this flux that makes her strongest. Indeed, resilience comes not from uncompromising rigidity, but by shifting and adapting. This, in effect, nurtures natural leadership. Mrs. Jordan does not seek to rule over others. She uses her own life to encourage them. Her very existence inspires everyone around her to want to do better, to strive for more, to better themselves. To not rule, but to guide with her unshakable integrity. One particularly alluring quality is her mystery. She has this quality, at once both striking and elusive, not as an intentional puzzle, but as a subtle depth that is not asking to be unraveled. She recognizes that she does not have to lay bare her entire existence, because true insight needs no exposition, and strives not to unless it entertains some personal gain. Additionally, her distaste for gossip reveals a lot about her makeup. She is deliberate in the words she uses and will not engage in conversations that are at the expense of other people. Instead, she aspires to conversations that inspire, build, and add value to the people around her. Her neighbors trusted her because she is a non-judging person and gives an open mind to people and situations. She listens not to respond, but to comprehend, and that makes her, for so many, a satisfying sounding board, a fountain of wisdom, and a most loyal friend. And perhaps most important, she shows determination in the face of adversity. She is not one to deny pain, and she is unafraid of struggle. Unlike many people, though, Mate sees challenges as opportunities for expansion. She recognizes that within each hardship is a lesson, and within each lesson the road towards greater wisdom. These traits aren't the domain of Stoic women. They're something to strive for by everyone. The places, however, are a living embodiment of how to hold to principles that outlast both time and circumstance. It is a call for all of us to look deep within our own lives, to ask questions of ourselves about how we too might make space for these virtues, to move ever so closely towards being more resolute, more calm, and in the end, simply more stoic. If you've made it this far, inspired by these principles, make your mark in the comments with the words, "I am Stoic." Let's dive deeper, so to speak. Using emotion regulation and self-sufficiency. Imagine you are there, at work, out in the world, meeting, as we all do, the demands of work and society and the minor but steady vexations of life. It is in these moments that emotional control is a potent ally. Rather than seeing these as insurmountable burdens, a Stoic woman interprets them as challenges, avenues to increase patience, improve empathy, and build resilience. And though chaos may reign around her, she is terra firma, rooted and composed in her own internal oasis of calm. Then there's self-sufficiency, a quality that gets misconstrued a lot. It does not mean loneliness or a declaration of not needing anyone else. It is a description of non-changing faith and belief in yourself, how you will get through challenges, how you will make wise choices, and how you can find peace and happiness within, without continually looking for outside affirmation of your worth. This is true liberation. Historical Stoic figures' wisdom, thinkers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, was never intended to live only in the annals of philosophy. They're telling women today to choose quiet in a world demanding they make noise, to live with certainty even as they're surrounded by noise of the crowd. We would have to look inward too, to be aware of our mind and to have a peaceful state of mind, not only for our own benefit, but for the benefit of others. But how do we practice these teachings every day? It starts with the minute, purposeful jangestions we make every day. Each time we take a breath before responding, each moment we try to empathize rather than criticize, we are practicing Stoicism in real time. This sentence-by-sentence discipline builds an inner sanctum, the kind of inner sanctum that protects us from the chaos of life and helps show us a better way to live. It's not easy to become more stoic. It requires bravery, dedication, and most importantly, integrity, an unyielding commitment to see and accept ourselves, acknowledge the opportunities we have to be better, and endure through the discomfort. But as with so many who choose to embark on this journey, there are immeasurable rewards for these women: contentment, strength, and that persistent sense of knowing who you are and what is good for you. Nature's landscape as a metaphor for feminine personalities. Imagine walking through a great green forest, a place full of life, where every tree is its own being. While making your way through this landscape, you spot a tree of a certain kind that represents a female type. Some trees are grand and towering, their commanding stature reminiscent of alpha women, natural-born leaders that dominate their surroundings, much like ancient oaks. Then there are the graceful and adaptable branches singing effortlessly in the wind. These embody beta women, those powerhouses of silence who hold strong and nurture those around them, similar to willows that bend but don't crack. But there, in the jungle of foliage, a tree stands out, not by its size, nor by its flexibility, but by the quiet stability it exudes. This tree, gnarled and settled into the ground, watches the seasons come and go. This is the Stoic woman, living testament to endurance and wisdom. She doesn't strive for the spotlight nor mold to the expectations. Instead, she stands firm, her roots intertwined with the very fabric of existence. She is not to falter or feel the inclination to rule, unlike the other trees. It comes from inside, a quiet, resolute inner confidence that allows her to weather even the driest of storms. Her personal journey does not include a desire for acclaim, but everyone who stops to watch her cannot pass her without being drawn into her orbit. Just like how every tree in this forest has its own significance in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem, every personality has its own significance in making our kind diverse. But the Stoic woman teaches something deeper than that. She teaches the power of silent strength and soul. And she teaches us that strength does not shout, especially the kind that stands so firmly in itself. And as you see this landscape again in your mind, consider the unique strengths and wisdom offered up by each tree. In the grand scheme of life, there lurks the Stoic woman, a whisper of powerful strength and solidity in the deafening noise, reaching back to those who may need that same steel spine in their life. Alternative decision-making routes. Stoic principles of resilience and wisdom are not far-fetched, musty philosophers' rhetoric, but rather pragmatic skills to negotiate the perplexities of recent life. When we think about Stoic women, we probably think of their undeniable strength first. But this power is not loud nor boisterous. It is an internal strength that seeps into every action, word, and choice. This strength is shown in their style of communication. Every exchange they have is meaningful, concise, and devoid of superfluous flair. They do not speak to be liked or to impress. They speak to communicate truth clearly. This blunt honesty is a breath of fresh air in a world that frequently revels in half-truths and hidden motives. What drives this clarity of speech? A profound and imperishable confidence. Not because someone always tells us, but because we know ourselves very well. They know who they are, what they represent, and what they won't back down on. Life as an uncertain mess of demands requires adaptability, and in this, the Stoic woman excels. She does not fight change. Rather, she embraces it and is willing to adapt and grow. She adapts to the vagaries of life with the fluid grace of a river cutting its way through land, but always on the course to the ocean. It is these qualities that make her a natural leader, not because she wants to exert control, but because people are irresistibly attracted to integrity. The truest leaders do not bark orders. They lead by example and inspire change by action, and not just words. And there's the mystery she carries with her, a depth that is neither performative nor shallow. She does not gossip, does not spend time analyzing other people's lives. She is dedicated to healing, self-discovery, and the search for truth. Her answer to adversity is not avoidance or denial, but acceptance and resilience. She knows that adversity is a teacher, that hardship is a road to greater wisdom, the way to balance emotion and logic. The most common misapprehension about Stoicism, particularly when it comes to the women who practice it, is the idea that it encourages emotional detachment or suppression. Stoic women, in truth, do not suppress emotion, they refine it. They know that emotions are not hindrances that need to be disregarded, but signals, guiding lights that can, if interpreted correctly, contribute to better judgment and individual wisdom. Picture yourself in the throes of a tough time, that kind of moment that makes your heart beat quickly and your brain race in a dozen different directions. The much easier reaction would be to get carried away with the emotional wave, letting out frustration, fright, or thrill decide your next step. But a Stoic woman, her approach is different. She sees the feeling clearly. This is stress. This is anxiety. This is anticipation. Rather than resisting or getting swallowed by these feelings, she sits with them and calls up, "What is this feeling trying to communicate to me? What do I do with this information to make an informed choice?" Editor's note: this post is part of a series called "In Being Hit by a Wave of Emotion, We Discover the Meaning of Emotional Mastery." It's about translating feelings into something constructive rather than reacting without thought. When a Stoic woman experiences emotion, she understands that emotion is data to be processed, not a command to be attacked, and therefore she retains control, being guided in her actions by reason, not emotion. That balance between emotion and reason affords an extraordinary clarity of mind. This perspective makes her moves responsive rather than reactive, considered rather than knee-jerk. This capacity to pause, take stock, and re-respond wisely is what enables her to navigate her way through life graciously, powerfully, and with intention. The discovery is a deep one. Feeling deeply and thinking clearly are not conflicting forces. They are complementary. When emotions and logic interact in the proper balance, the outcome is true power, navigating life's uncertainties with an indelible sense of direction. Stoic values reflected through minimalism and sustainable living. A second distinguishing trait of Stoic feminine is their power to distill life to that extremely issues. In a culture that often exalts abundance, more things, more obligations, more diversions, Stoic women take the opposite route. Their motto is "less is more," and that applies to not only their belongings, but to their mental space, their priorities, and their daily connections. For them, minimalism is not deprivation, but clarity, focus, and intentionality. It's about getting rid of anything that doesn't contribute to their purpose, or their values, which lets them focus on things that truly enhance their lives. This same notion applies beyond physical possessions. It's a state of being, a deliberate choice to weed out distractions and retain focus on getting rich mentally, spiritually, and financially. Just like their sustainability practices are part of their philosophy, they are conscious consumers, prioritizing quality over quantity, experiences over things, and long-term impact over temporary rewards. They understand that what they do, in how they consume, how they work, how they interact with the world, matters. Their lifestyle is a sermon on living with purpose rather than greed. The science behind this lifestyle is creating freedom. The freedom from clutter and chains of oppression, of feeling like you have to do things because everyone else is doing it. And by opting for simplicity and sustainability, Stoic women take back their time, their energy, their peace of mind. Being truly wealthy is not about what someone has, but about how rich her inner world is. Choosing to live deliberately, Stoic women redefine what it is to live a fulfilling, purposeful life. The realities of professional spaces. Stoic women, in professional settings that tend to be competitive, high pressure, and often fraught with politics, Stoic women shine, not because they are ruthlessly seeking ascendancy, but because they go about their jobs in a more refreshing way. Whereas everyone else seems to be getting lost in office politics or fleeting trends or outside pressures, they are focused, disciplined, and grounded. They are skilled at separating themselves from the frivolous distractions and drama. Instead of expending energy on things that they cannot control, office gossip, unfair negative feedback, or entrenched hierarchies, they use time and energy for what really matters: their own growth, their contributions, and their integrity. This perspective not only helps them adapt to challenges with grace, but naturally raises them to leadership positions, not by coercion or manipulation, but through their own example. People know that they are capable, respectable, indomitable. They are able to manage within themselves crisis situations without losing their identity. Stoic women do not seek authority. They demand respect just by being genuine, independent, and perpetually forward-thinking. They function with a strong sense of reason and purpose, making logical decisions instead of reacting out of whimsy, and others are inspired to do so as well. Here's what brings out the stamina, tenacity, and grit: their presence in the workplace. It serves as a personal reminder that real strength comes not from proving, but from knowing oneself. And against a backdrop of outside pressures that change as fast as they come, their resiliency, calmness, and focus turns them into an unstoppable force. The Stoic woman, the end and echoes. What really sets Stoic women apart is not any supposed super strength or wisdom, it's the ability to live more consciously in a world full of distractions. They journalism, nor do they crave external validation to prove their existence. Instead, they base their life on a foundation of logic, self-cognizance, and a strong inner core. People play with emotion, reason, simple lifestyle, purpose, quiet leadership, and rage to grow. They not only withstand the storms of life, they flourish within them, remaining steadfast like unyielding pillars amid the tumult. And the best part? These traits aren't unique to them. All of us have the ability to nurture this fortitude, to adopt this mindset, and to make our way through the world with similar poise, insight, and courage. If this path speaks to you, if the prospect of being a calmer, more centered you, more attuned to what is truly important to you, then take action. Embrace the philosophy, practice self-mastery, strengthen your mind, build your inner fortress. And if you've gotten this far, make your presence known. Post strength and resilience in the comments, and let's keep evolving together. Subscribe, grow, become unshakable.